Hi all, Dan here with your latest ramblings from sunny Spain, where I am in La Rioja, the region famed for Rioja wine. I'm currently in Logrono, which is one of the main towns in the region, with the hope of picking us up some Rioja casks, because I have an idea that I would like to age some peated whiskey in Rioja. You will have seen, like recently, I've talked about I have a desire to pick us up some bulk whiskey at younger ages, so 5-8 years old, because at the moment the prices have dropped, and that's where it's slightly more affordable and in a price range we can afford, hopefully. Clearing the current bottles in the bargains, the birthday bargains, trying to bring in some cash to help pay for it. I'm not sure if there'll be enough, but this is the aim. And one part of that idea is to get some red wine casks, some Rioja casks, for some peated whiskey in the future. So I have come to Logrono, as it's somewhere that I have heard of as the capital of La Rioja. Previously, when the club was still in its infancy, when it was still an idea that I was working on and investigating, I had come here with my ex and spent time in Haro, which is a smaller wine town, and was just such an amazing experience. And I could never have imagined that years later the idea I was working on would bring me back here to try and source us something special, like we did with Valpolicella and the Amarone barriques, and something else that I'm working on at the moment. And so, as it's my first day, I am getting into the local culture, which means sitting at a local bar, enjoying a glass of Rioja, and eating some pinchos. Like the equivalent of tapas is to Catalan and Barcelona, pinchos is to the Basque region and La Rioja. They are bites as opposed to small plates. Lots of little ones that every bar, every coffee shop, every bakery, pretty much it feels like, they have a few that are pre-made and you just have with your coffee or your wine. So just getting into the spirit of it today, and tomorrow I've actually got 2 meetings planned with distilleries for next year's club bottles, after which I'm hoping to go and visit a couple of vineyards and discuss casks, in the hope that they are interested in sharing some with us. I do believe in meeting the people that create the things that we use. And that was very important in Valpolicella. I also understand that it's a bit of a numbers game. I think I must have visited about 18-20 vineyards in Valpolicella to get the one, and it was the one that was fantastic. And it's the same here. I'm going to go and meet some here. I've got 3 days currently planned in this area, and then I'll either go further in the country. Like last time when I came here, I've driven here. And you come from the Basque country with its hills, almost mountainous, green terrain, and as you come down into the flatlands in the middle of Spain, that brings in La Rioja, it's almost like a desert. It's quite nice coming slightly earlier in the year than last time. I was in end of August last time. This time it's a bit green still, whereas last time it looked like a desert, and you just see vineyards crisscrossing everywhere. And then there are these little villages that are on outcrops of rock that sit in these desert flatlands of vineyards. And so, depending on how I do with vineyards here, we'll make the decision as to do I go to Haro, which is will have more of a concentration, or do I go to smaller villages and talk to the very small producers. It's quite an interesting make-up here in terms of, you go back not too long ago, they were all such small producers focused on high quality, which meant low quantity, that they couldn't really export, and so that's why other countries were doing better than them. I think 20 odd years ago, British guy realised he could aggregate them, and that's when the export started, and Spanish wine got bigger for us. But there are still a number of small producers, and I'm hoping it's similar to as Valpolicella was, that they're small without, and because there's so many of them, they don't have as many of the contacts to get rid of all of their casks, and we can get something really special at a fair price. This isn't anything for this next year or the year after, probably. Maybe, I suppose, depends on the whiskey we bring in to put into the cask. But this is me planning for the long-term future. Bits of what I'm doing now are looking at 10 years into the future and making the club as secure as possible and ensuring great whiskey whenever we ship it, which is the other bit. It's delivery week. I'll come on to that in the next ramblings, but yeah, I thought you'd be interested to know what's going on. So yeah, hopefully some Rioja casks for some future whiskey.